The very last episode of the initial incarnation of The Twilight Zone has just one of my favorite endings. It's very simple, and the episode itself is not considered one of the best by a long shot. And it just really, really speaks to me. It's about these two kids. It's called the Bewitching Pool. These two kids with these bickering parents that hardly seem to have a thought in mind for their children. And these kids who get fed up with it, and they find a portal in their house pool that takes them to this faraway place where all these other children have gone, to escape their less than favorable living conditions. And in the end, the two kids decide that they're just going to stay there forever. And it's said in the episode that only every once in a while do kids have some sort of recall of, the people that they left behind. And that's the very last thing that happens is this lead girl, who's very obviously 80-yard. It's very, very funny. She clearly has the voice of a woman when she is like 12 years old. But one of the last shots is after they've gone to this realm, to be free and live there forever, leaving their neglectful parents behind. She very faintly hears them calling for a second. And then I think somebody asks like, "Hey, what's going on?" She's like, "Oh, nothing." And then she just like moves on. And I think it's implied that that's like the last time that she's ever going to think about these parents. Something about being in this world makes you straight up forget about the people that are like still back in the other realm that you were trying to get away from. I just really like that analogy for just sort of my ideal for where I'm going. Not specifically with my parents, just with all the people that have put me down. And it's not particular to me. I didn't live a uniquely oppressive life. In many ways, I was even privileged. It's just that we get put down so constantly growing up. A lot of the times by people who think that they're doing the best, and a lot of the times by people who just like to put you down to feel powerful by putting you down. I don't know if there's actual truth to this, but I have read that the most common word that a child hears before the age of 2 is no. No, 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 no. We get told, don't do this, don't do that, in every conceivable direction. And even when we reach adulthood and have some level of freedom, we then give that power to people around us, just subconsciously. It's not like a mistake that we made or anything. It's just naturally, we give power to people to tell us, don't do this, or you must do this other thing. And I'd love to get to a place through my personal development, through developing my independence and ideally financial freedom in a handful of years, where the only thing that will be left of all those people throughout all my life who have tried to tell me no is just a faint little cry that I just hear for a second, maybe confuses me, maybe perturbs me just a little bit. But it's so far off and seemingly no more significant than any of the other silly thoughts that I've had in my head that I just let it go and I get on with my life. Their cries become dimmer and dimmer every year. Especially the people that I have made an effort not to see anymore, or who life circumstances just don't end up being in my day-to-day anymore. Yeah. I still give power to some people that I can't even see anymore. I give power to some people that are dead. That have just fed notions to me of who I need to be. tried to set guidelines for me that are in no way indicative of who my real actualized self is to be. And their cries are just becoming dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. And it feels beautiful, and they're not gone by a long shot. But I know that I'm on that path. And it extends farther than just people giving me their words. I hope that if I've ever put anybody down, which I know that I have in the past, maybe I've even done that today without realizing it, I hope that one day my cries toward them are just as dim as the cries that are coming at me. Nothing louder than this.